Hi, my name is Magda. I am the mom of Calypso Murphy. She had hydrocephalus when she was born. She had a shunt placed in her brain the first week of her life. Hydrocephalus is basically when you have two ventricles in your brain. Her right ventricle was not releasing the spinal fluid. We have fluid in our brain that cleans out our brain every so often, and the fluid builds up, and naturally our brain releases the fluid and it gets drained throughout our body. Unfortunately, my daughter did not have a working valve, and she had to have surgery to have a shunt placed for life in her head. When they said due to this, they said there was going to be developmental delays. So she qualified for early intervention right off the bat due to her medical condition. She started early intervention shortly after she came back from the NICU. She was in the NICU for about 2 weeks, a week in with hydrocephalus. Then she had her surgery. She didn't do so good after her surgery, so she had to stay another week in the NICU. When we got released immediately with the early intervention paperwork. So U of Chicago is really great with providing us with the information, which I really wish more hospitals and doctor offices did that. Side note, but anyway, with that in mind, we had everything, all the resources we needed to dive in. We got early intervention started. Um, we got physical therapy right off the bat. We got developmental therapy. We had to wait a little while for speech. She does have a speech therapist now. Unfortunately, it's been over a year now, and we're still on the wait list for occupational therapy. And she has very, very bad regulation issues. She's 14 months and she gets so dysregulated. She acts like she's two. I am not joking. And it's very, very detrimental to get an OT on her case. We had one that was virtual for a little bit, and then we found an in-person. The in-person came for 3 sessions, I want to say, and then just dropped her like cold turkey. Not a real reason why. She said it was something personal, and that's the last that we heard. So then Calypso went back on the wait list, and she's been back on the wait list for months again. So out of the whole 14 months of her life, she had OT for about a month, and we're still waiting. So the biggest problem to me is obviously the services. We don't have enough providers, and the needs lists are very, very long. And it's very unfortunate because the first 3 years of a child's life is crucial. And a lot of synapses are formed in the first 3 years. So if they don't get the help and the support that they need, it gets harder to basically rewire their habits and such. So it would really benefit families, especially families in need, for providers to get compensated more, to have more benefits. So there would be more providers willing to service, and then the needs list wouldn't be so long. In addition to that, communication could be a little bit better. I'm from Will County, and I know that in Will County, we do things differently than they do things in DuPage County or Cook County. And it's just unfortunate because when you move, that's another hurdle you have to tackle. And that's also time lost from getting the support that you need from your child. So the moral of all of this is I want the legislators to know that we really need to fund early intervention a lot more. We need to advertise it, make sure that parents know that it's out there and available, and we need to support these providers and coordinators so they can get paid and get the benefits that they need so they can go to work and support the children that need to be supported. And the communication, maybe if we did something more universal between all the counties, just so it's more uniformed, so parents know what to expect. I know it's kind of hard jumping from county to county, different expectations and such. Just it would be much more of a smoother transition for anyone that's looking to move counties and so on and so forth.